Welcome back to the channel. Here I have a video titled Boss Babe Climbed the Career Ladder and Lost Every Man in the Process. Basically, water is wet. Let's go ahead and jump right in and see what this is about.
Obviously I want to be with a man who's more successful than me, right? And
And we're going to stop it early. What? Let me say this one more time.
obviously I want to be with a man who's more successful than me, right?
Why? I genuinely want to know why. Why? I've never had an inclination to say I want somebody who's more successful than me or less successful than me. Why? Why is that? Now, again, a lot of people who like to study textbooks and talk about all this other stuff will say something like, oh, well, women want people who are better than. Bro, why? I genuinely want to get to the fundamental reason why, because I've heard reasons was like, how is she supposed to respect you? And it's like the same reason why she respects herself or respects her friends or respects anybody else who is not in her position. You're telling me that you can only respect a person who is in a higher position than you? That's something I think you should go talk to somebody about.
Right. And so what I realize is I'm like, damn, these men who are super successful, they have unlimited options. Whereas me as a successful woman, my dating pool is like tiny. Do you feel that as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the more successful you get as a woman, the less options you have.
Right.
And again, why? And the reason why I'm asking why is not to be disingenuous. I'm asking why because I want you, or if you're a woman listening to this, I want you to go inside and ask yourself, well, what is the real reason why? And most of the time, the reason why they want somebody like that is not because of they're thinking about their family, they're thinking about the things that actually matter in the world. What really is they want somebody like that so when they show it off to society or show it off to other women, it looks good. You understand? Because we know if it's the opposite, the first ones that are going to say something about that are other women. But again, you're choosing somebody based off of that and not based off of their character, based off of what it is that they want, what they value, what you guys are building together in the future. No, you want a photo op for Instagram. You want bragging rights with your friends. That's what you really want. And when I think about something like that, I just think about how narcissistic, how selfish do you have to be to even have that as a metric. And again, this is not something that's biological. I hate when people say that. It's not biological, because if that was the case, then everybody would think in their primal instincts, and most of us don't. Right? If I could suppress the urge to want to go out and conquer villages, I'm sure other people can conquer their urges, whatever it is that may be.
Right. Whereas for
It's
them, it's
fucked
vice
up.
versa. Yeah.
For them, it's more options.
I know.
Guys don't feel the need to be taken care of. They like to take care of you, so then they can literally take care of anyone. The more successful they get, they don't care if you're a waiter, like they don't care if you like
Teacher.
teacher what you are. They just are like, okay, well, if you're the right one, like it kind of is a little up. Men have so much more options than women.
Okay.
And I love how she said it's messed up that they have more options, as if no everybody involved doesn't have a choice. I can't stand when people pretend like we're not adults who can make conscious decisions. I can't stand that, because you're making it seem like you have to do this. No, you don't have to do it. You understand?
It's true. I mean, it is true for these successful women because as these women climb the ladder and get more and more successful and richer, these women want men who make more money. So,
That's the flaw. Fix it. What do you? That's the flaw. You know what I'm saying? Fix it. That's like, bro. It's like, imagine if you're a person, you always wanted to go to the NFL or the NBA, whatever, and you worked your butt off. As you get higher and higher and higher, you're like, okay, I want to go to the NBA. I want to go to the NBA. I want to go to the NBA. Well, it's going to get to a point to where you realize you're not enough to go to the NBA, or you weren't chosen for whatever reason to go to the NBA. What do? Do you continuously strive for the rest of your life to go after something that clearly isn't for you, or do you change paths? A logical, smart, see, that's where I'm losing people. Logical and smart person will say, yeah, let me just change that, because obviously if I base my whole life off of this, I'm not going to seek the fulfillment that I ultimately want.
they want, I think it's like I don't know what the ratio is, but if a woman makes 100K, I think they want the guy to make around like 165 or something like that, that percentage above them. I'm pretty sure it's around that. So you're decreasing your options in the marketplace, the more career success.
Which we told them, by the way. We said this. This is not something that, oops, I climbed it too high and now I'm stuck. No, people have said this from the beginning. Men have been saying this from the beginning. They've always said it. It's like, listen, the higher you get, most men don't want that. And it's not because a lot of women will say, oh, it's because I'm in a position, I'm intimidating. No, you're annoying. You know what I'm saying? You think because you make a certain amount of money that you're smarter than the average person, that you're more competent than the average person. Listen, I'm not going to say that you're I'm not going to say that you're not more valuable as far as in a business sense, as far as an employee sense or a contractor sense. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that doesn't translate into a relationship. That doesn't give you the authority to feel like you need to be the leader of your relationship. Does that make sense? Especially if you're not going to take on the position of a provider.
Successful you become, because you're saying that you want the guy to be more successful. So you make $1 million, you want that guy to be making more than $1 million, right? So you're decreasing the pool for you. Guys who become successful don't care if a woman, they don't need you to be more successful.
And another thing on top of that, this is one of my most favorite discussions that I talk to people about. Imagine, listen, when they say this a lot, it's like, I need somebody who's taller than me, stronger than me, basically better than them in 90% of categories. Okay, if that's the case, why are you still expecting him to pursue you? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? He's better than you. By your own metrics, he's better than you. So why are you expecting him to chase you? How does that make sense? That's backwards logic. It's backward thinking.
Successful, they'll date a waitress. They don't care. They want you to be loyal and honest and fun and positive and want to be a good mom and all the feminine traits. So they don't care. They don't need you to be successful at all in that way, in that, climb the corporate ladder, financially successful way. So they have a ton of options. So it's all good, right? They get it. You see like the light bulbs going off and you're like, great. But then they say at the end, that's kind of effed up. Here's the thing. It's only effed up because women are following a male path. Do you see how this?
Thank you. We've been saying this from the beginning. You can't do what we do. And they took it as a challenge, like a moron. They took it as a challenge. Oh yeah, watch me. Now look at you. Stupid as hell.
This would all make sense and work out if women weren't following a male path, if women weren't trying to be the successful one in that way, and they were instead defining their success as being feminine and saying, well, my success is defined by a healthy home. My success is defined by children that are raised beautifully and, nurtured from the get-go. And my success is defined by being a supportive wife. And if all of those things were what they labeled as success and they were focused on that instead, then their options would widen in terms of the men that could come into their world. The delay wouldn't happen because they would have money.
In other words, if they focused on things that men actually cared about. Imagine trying to get into a relationship with somebody and not caring what the other person cares about. Insane.
Much more men to choose from. They would be
and that just doubles the point on they're not in a relationship to be in a great, healthy relationship. They're in a relationship because they're trying to look a certain way for other people. They're trying to chase the attention and validation of other women in society. And that's a recipe for disaster.
Attracting, but they would in fact be attracting even more successful men because they would be in their feminine, and what's attracted to you in your feminine is a masculine man who's making all the money and all that stuff. This would all fix itself beautifully, actually, if everyone was just not trying to do somebody else's path, particularly the women trying to do the male path. So it's only effed up because you're effing it up. It's only effed up because you're doing the guy's job and you're Xing.
Right. It's messed up because you decided to make a decision and don't want to live with the consequences. They thought that they were going to be able to do something and then just change the game once they've already done it, because that's how a lot of them operate. They say, I'm going to do what I want anyway, because at the end of the day, a man is still going to accept me. A man is still going to sleep with me. And they're right. It is going to happen. However, it's not the men that they want. And that's why they're upset. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Like the video if you like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.